Well, it's time for another project on my 96 Suzuki Sidekick Sport. Those of you guys that have been following my build videos and articles on YouTube, you'll know that I've got the Suzuki Aereo 2.3 liter engine under the hood of this thing. And I've taken it on several overland and off-road type trips since then. And I really do like the 2.3. It's been a great modification. Definitely recommend it to anyone. Unfortunately, that added power has really taken a toll on my transmission. The transmission's been getting slowly noisier and noisier in all gears except for fourth. Fourth is still quiet because that's a one-to-one pass-through kind of gear. But it's really gotten very noisy, and I recently went on an overland style trip through Idaho, which involved several hours of freeway type driving. And you know, after a few hours at 90 miles an hour, that was like the death blow for the transmission. When I got back, I drained the gear oil, and it was just dark gray with bearing and gear material and stuff, and it was clearly time to get a new one. This thing's been getting awful noisy even just while I'm not moving, so you'll be able to hear it when I let out the clutch. You'll be able to hear the input shaft making an awful noise. So right now I got the clutch in. When I let it out, listen to this. I don't know how much of that noise the camera picks up, but it's definitely not sounding good. And then at highway speeds, it makes a pretty good howl, so it's time to go. I called several local transmission rebuilders and asked them if they could do it, and they all said, sure, bring your transmission in, we'll rebuild it. But I didn't really get a good feeling that they had any experience with the Suzuki transmissions. And then I give Trail Tough a call down in Medford. And you know, as soon as I started talking with them, it was obvious that they knew these transmissions well. They had several cores in stock, and the person that I spoke with was able to tell me right away exactly the common failure points, bearings and shafts that they replace in here, what can be reused, and you know, exactly why my transmission was noisy. So you know, after just a few minutes of talking with them, I knew that those were the guys that I wanted to get a rebuilt transmission from. So I told them to go ahead and send me one, and they shipped it to me via UPS. You see all the packing material there. So it was just a few day turnaround. I had the transmission here just a few days after I called. Then as far as a clutch, there are a few options, a few performance options. There's a center force dual friction and a couple other performance options, but I've actually used this particular clutch in a couple of different sidekicks that I own. And I've really liked it quite a bit. This is the Exedy Stage 2 clutch that Low Range Off-Road sells, and I've had pretty good luck with it. Now, I'm definitely going to be putting it to the test behind the 2.3, but it's definitely a good upgrade over a stock parts store clutch. It comes with a throwout bearing and a pilot bearing and a clutch alignment tool. So then when I take the old clutch apart, I'll go ahead and take the flywheel in and have it resurfaced. So we're going to get to work here. First things first, we're going to remove this center console and the shifters for the transfer case and for the transmission, and that'll give us some room to slide the whole transmission assembly back. So we'll get the interior work done first before I get all dirty underneath the vehicle, and then once all these parts are out of here, we can put the Sidekick up on the lift and start removing stuff from underneath. I've got the center console and the shifters for the transfer case and transmission removed. Pretty easy task, just takes about 10 minutes. As you can see here, some genius couldn't figure out how to remove the transmission shifter or something, and so they decided to cut two slots here and fold this piece of body metal back in order to give room for the transmission to slide back during removal. Wasn't me. I don't know. The shifter is pretty easy to remove, so anyway, I'll probably go ahead and weld this back together while I got the transmission out. It won't take too long, just a series of stitch welds there ought to bring it right back together. So okay, we got the Sidekick up on the lift here. Make getting the transmission out of here fairly easy. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to remove the rear drive shaft, so 4 bolts back here, and then it just slides right out of the transfer case. We'll remove the front drive shaft, 4 bolts right here, that'll slide out of the transfer case here. We will remove the starter, kind of hard to see here. that's right up here. We're just going to unbolt it from the bell housing and then slide it back and just let it sit there. We will remove the slave cylinder. It's these two bolts right here, and just let this whole assembly swing out of the way and just hang there. We'll undo the bell housing bolts. Hard to see those here, but there's a stud on either side here and then bolts on the top, so we'll undo those. We will undo all the electrical connections. I believe there's two on the transmission and one on the transfer case. You can see the wiring harness here. See one of the electrical connectors is right there. And then we'll undo the speedometer cable right here. Once all that's done, the transmission and transfer case will be ready to come out. So we'll support the back of the transfer case with an A-frame jack. And we'll take this cross member, just unbolt it, swing it down out of the way, and once that's down, I can just go ahead and grab a hold of this whole assembly and slide it back and take it down to the ground. We got the old transmission out, sitting on the ground here right next to the new one. We've got to transfer over a few wire ties, a couple of limit switches, the bell housing, and we'll swap over the transfer case. Once all that's done, it'll be ready to go back in the Sidekick. Well, we just finished tightening up the last bolt on the rear drive shaft, and that really should do it. Go ahead and fire this thing up and see how that new transmission sounds. Well, that's it. She sounds good, and we're ready to take it down off the lift and take this thing out on the road for a test drive.